the 14th Annual Health Initiative for Men. Learn more right after this.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Welcome to Community Watch. Greg,
Doc,
good to see you.
how you doing, brother?
I'm all right. I know this show is kind of an annual experience for us. Do you think this event has kind of reached a tradition? I mean, after a certain number of years.
Yeah, actually, before the event, people start actually asking about it. Even before the event, which is a great thing, because it shows that people expect it and know it's coming. So, yeah, the hymn event has, I think, become traditional in Rome.
Well, I'm guessing there are a few people out there that aren't aware of it, but it's a day of free health screenings.
Correct.
That is intended for men.
But the primary focus on prostate, but we offer a lot of additional health screenings as well.
Yeah.
But our primary target is a prostate screening.
And it's very well attended, has been.
Very well attended.
Well, we will be talking about the HIM event, the Health Initiative for Men, on our show today. We have 2 guests that will be joining us after this break. So we'll get a little background on the event and find out what's going on this year and let you know when and where it will be, of course. So please stay with us. It's an important show. We'll be right back after this.
Hi, may I please have an application? Thank you.
Skip the drama. Get your diploma.
Okay.
Take that first step towards a better future. Find free adult education classes at finishyourdiploma.org.
Welcome back to Community Watch, and we're very happy to have with us today Mr. Larry Morrow and Dr. McCoy to talk about the Health Initiative for Men, which is coming up soon. What's the date?
August 15th.
August 15th, which is Saturday.
Saturday.
And it's early, 8
From
a.m.?
8 a.m. to 12 p.m.
At the Health Department.
Health Department.
At the,
We've been at that location several years now at the Health Department.
So were all of you gentlemen involved from the start
Oh, no.
of the event?
Yeah.
Oh, I was.
No?
Yeah, I've been pretty much from the start, yeah.
Well,
Like the second McCoy.
we may have talked about this in the past, but remind me what led up to the very first one. What was the reason that you decided that this was a need?
Well, the national office of the 100 Black Men of America at a national convention in Miami, Florida, back in 2000. There was a proclamation issued to all of the chapters in the 100. At the time, I think there was about 104 at the time, but there was a proclamation issued that said that, or declared that the 100 Black Men of America we started an initiative to get black men screened for prostate cancer, because prostate cancer is the second leading death cancer. The second leading reason for death is among cancer, and they just decided that something needed to be done, and the 100 Black Men of America was the way to do it. So they issued a challenge to all of the chapters that when the convention was over, you go back, to each chapter and get something started, and that's what we did. And we were fortunate to get started here because previously, before the National Convention, Dr. James Crane from Harbin Clinic had spoke to the 100, or maybe a year before, about prostate cancer, especially among black men. So this things fit right in, and we were able to come back.
It was timely.
It was timely, yeah. And Dr. Crane was, I mentioned to him, and he was, he said, let's get on it. And he provided his services along with the services of Harbin Clinic, urology department, and since 2002 we've been on the roll, and we've had it every year.
And I don't know what the numbers were like those first few years, but I know that more recently it's been packed, hasn't it? I mean,
yeah. Well, you're right, Dr. Hirsch. The first year we saw 32 men, so that shows you. And over the years we're averaging right around 400. Some years is a little more, some years a little less, but anyway, around 400 people that we see every year for different health issues.
14 years is a lot can change in 14 years. So, Dr. McCoy, is prostate cancer just as much a concern now as it was then?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that hasn't changed. It's just that the data has suggested that the screening mechanisms that we used before needed to be tweaked, and we've tweaked them, and so there have been some gradual changes over the years through the American Urological Association. So.
Now, Doc, when you say tweak, because and I have to say, because when I first became a member of the 100, I didn't go to him. I'm not doing it, but it was through education that I actually started participating in having my screenings. So now with the new data, because I know the age requirements have changed. So what are the age requirements now that they're suggesting is the most beneficial for men for screening?
Yeah, it's not really an age requirement. It's just we needed some guide, basically. So they've pretty much taken the numbers over the years and tried to determine where the most concentrated prevalence would be with regards to age groups, and it's showing us that we don't need to screen men as young as we have been screening them, unless they're in a high-risk group, which African Americans and typically people of color typically fall into those categories. So for the African American men, I don't think it's really changed much. But for those who are not African American or who are not high risk, we used to screen at age 50 or sometimes younger, but now it's 55. And we used to focus on older guys, and now we don't really find it necessary to screen men over 70 unless they've had some increased risk or some issues early on.
So let me be clear. So as an African American male, I'm not 50, not even 45 yet, but I had my uncle had prostate cancer. So based on a close relative, and I'm African American, I still would probably fall in that high risk category, and should be screened.
Well, the fact that you're African American puts you in a higher risk category, and you have an uncle who's had it. So, yeah, you're in a higher risk of the categories, but high risk is usually first degree relatives, father or brother. However, under these circumstances, I would consider you high risk.
So I still have to do it.
I think it's time, man.
Well, I've been doing it for the last couple of years, because you have to support your programs. But what I like about this program, Brother Morrow, is that I think while we focus on prostate cancer, you learn so much in general. I think about your overall health when you come through those doors, because I know why I came there, but I just learned so much more about my overall health and being more conscious and taking more responsibility for my health by participating in HIM.
Greg, you're certainly correct. I've become more aware of my health issues as well, and I've had some issues in the last few years. Matter of fact, in 2011 at this health fair, I was diagnosed with prostate cancer, and as a follow-up, I found that it wasn't that bad. Only 2% of my prostate was affected. So, and it was the bottom of my prostate that was affected. And of course, I had the radiation treatments about 5 or 6 months later. Now it's been 4 years and I'm cancer-free. And I think, it was wonderful. And if it wasn't for this health fair, who knows? I could have it probably lingering in my body right now. And that's what happened with prostate cancer. If it's not caught in time, it spreads, and it kind of spreads slowly, and it gradually become, other parts of the body become affected. And normally, when a person discovers they've got prostate cancer, it's normally through a doctor discovered examining something else. And I'm just fortunate that didn't ever happen to me. And again, it's just that I'm cancer-free, and I don't mind telling people, this health fair is great. It's just great. It's great for men, period. I think men have nowadays it's just that men, they can't be afraid to go to the doctor anymore. Most men are macho. Nothing wrong with men, especially with athletes. And you just think nothing would ever happen to you. But prostate cancer is something that I always say, you don't catch prostate cancer. Prostate cancer catches you. And so, you've got to, and you have to have that understanding. And it's good that we have an event just like this.
Well, your example is evidence of something that that Greg, you have told me about in past years, about how many actual lives have been saved.
Yeah. Well, when you go back and look over our data over 14 years, on average, we have about 4 people that probably need a follow-up. And probably 2 of those people needs, additional services, like Brother Morrow was saying. So when you think about that, if you're saying 2 people a year are diagnosed with prostate cancer and undergo some type of treatment, you're looking at potential 28, 30 families that have been affected in a positive way. And so we know the program has potential to save lives, and we're very proud of that record. And I think the fact that we have amended our screening numbers shows that this is not just something we out here, we're just pushing it. We want to be current, we want to be relevant, and so as the guidelines change, we're changing. As Brother Morrow and Dr. McCoy stated, guys over 70. I mean, we really don't screen guys over 70 anymore because there's other factors. But still, that targeted age group, we want to make sure we're reaching that targeted population so that we can get them in there to have them screened.
Well, the fact that it has made such a life-altering difference for a few men a year, I mean, that's all the reason you need to continue it.
And that's men in our community. So it's not men in Atlanta, men in other states. We're talking about men that people are running into daily, don't even know, that was actually diagnosed and underwent treatment from this health fair here in Rome. Our neighbors.
Well, I know we'll be coming up on a break shortly here, but prostate cancer and prostate screening is just one element of this event now. A lot of other types of screenings go on, and so I think we probably should talk about the whole scope of what can happen on that day or will happen. So we will talk much more. Stay with us. We'll be back after this.
I'm transferring to the University of West Georgia.
Columbia University.
Kennesaw State.
UGA. Loyola University in Chicago.
Grambling State.
Shorter University. I'm going to Greensboro College, and we all got our start at Georgia Highlands.
No matter where your educational journey takes you, you can get your start at Georgia Highlands College. Georgia Highlands College. Enroll, engage, excel.
Welcome back to Community Watch. We're talking with Mr. Larry Morrow and Dr. McCoy about the HIM event coming up on August 15th, Saturday, August 15th, the Health Initiative for Men, which is being presented by the 100 Black Men of Rome, Northwest Georgia, and has been. This is the 14th
Correct.
year.
Yeah, went fast.
And it is a day of free health screenings, and we've talked about kind of the emphasis on prostate cancer screening, but there are many other screenings that take place at the event. And what are some of those? You have diabetes screening, I understand.
Diabetes, cholesterol, nodular screenings, blood pressure, HIV screening. Actually, talking to Frank Tant of the AIDS Resource Center, that day they do more testing of African Americans than they do any other day of the year. And so over the years, we've actually compiled quite a bit of data in just general health that I think in the future we're gonna kind of delve into, like some of these other numbers. But our primary, we want men to come in and make sure those that meet the guidelines come in and get a prostate screening if they fit the criteria, because we do know that if caught early, it can be treated, and you don't have to die from prostate cancer in 2015. You don't have to die from it. Mm-hmm. We know you can, but really if you're dying from prostate cancer, then something clearly has went wrong, because if detected early enough, it can be treated almost 100%.
Correct.
And Rick, there's one other thing in reference to some of the other things that we do at this event, and that is, this is one of the largest collection of blood from by the Blood Assurance. Mm-hmm. They have been, and so we normally. And over the years, we challenge our members of the 100, give a pint of blood. And so we've done that over the years, and I've been told that at one time or 1 year we were the largest collection of where they've collected blood from African Americans. Yeah.
Well, that's impressive.
And so it becomes, so the health fair becomes it. While our primary target is prostate screening, it has so much more about it that gives back to the community. Because when you talk about AIDS, when you talk about blood, if I'm correct, 4 lives can be affected from 1 pint of blood from all the things they can do, the plasma, they can separate it. And then when you talk about the fact that sickle cell anemia, African Americans are highly affected by sickle cell anemia compared to other minorities, other races in America. Yet, if African Americans are not giving blood, then there's a shortage of blood for sickle cell anemia. So it becomes even if you come and you have your prostate, we encourage people to get your HIV testing, get your prostate testing done first, but get your HIV screening, give blood, and get some of these other things that are available, because they're all free. Right. They're all free.
Yeah.
And most of these things are the things that really affect the community: diabetes, high blood pressure. And when we think of high blood pressure, we should be thinking of glaucoma too. A lot of guys are walking around with poor vision or no vision, simply because they've had untreated hypertension that's led to glaucoma. So they all have different implications and kind of merge together. So,
yeah. And I would think diabetes would be something that's particularly. I guess it's increasing.
Yeah,
I think
prevalent.
that's the
It's
sense
very
of
prevalent.
Yeah.
I think it's increasing, and we're screening more. So we're picking up the cases. We're eating more. We're getting bigger. So it's all correlates. So.
Yeah, Greg, you just mentioned a word, a buzzword: free.
Yeah.
Everything we do at the health fair is free, and just this year, I got a call from the Rome Lions Club. And I wasn't familiar with all the things they do in this community. One of the things they do is they offer free glasses. So along with our eye exams this year, eye exams are going to be provided by Walmart. There'll be the Rome Lions Club will have a booth, or we'll have a table there where you can fill out application for free glasses. They were so glad that we accepted them to come in, and that was the one thing that I emphasized to them, that nothing at our fair is for sale. You know, everything is free, and we want to iterate and reiterate to people. That's the good thing about it, is everything's free. And some of the exams that we offer, you know, they're kind of expensive now, and a lot of the men women as well, they just don't have insurance to cover those
classes. Can be very expensive.
Very,
they are.
And that's one thing I would like to say, Doc, about the HIM. You know, for years it was a partnership between the 100 and Harbin for years, but it's always been a partnership with the community as well. It's always been other vendors like Florida, Redmond. They've always been a part of Northwest Georgia Public Health, the Cancer, Northwest Georgia Cancer Coalition. I mean, so really, while the 100 and Harbin has been the driving engine in the past, we've always had support from the community, and that's really that allow us to do all these other screenings. There's these other companies, these other medical facilities, and people volunteering their time. And so when you look at HIM, it's just not a black men's health fair. It's really a community approach to overall health. Because when you leave there, if you take advantage of all the screenings, you will have a better understanding of your overall health, not just prostate. And so this is one of those things where, you know, we really have to be thankful that we live in a community such as Rome, that we have community partners that are willing to volunteer their services and their people for free for the community.
And Greg, you're certainly right. It's reflected in the numbers. We have more Caucasians, except for maybe a couple of years, that were screened for prostate than we had African Americans.
That's true.
And normally, we have more Caucasians to participate in all the other screening than we have anybody else. So it's become a community event. You know, I see people all during the year. Once we have our health fair, they can't wait till next year. We've got some people that come. It's been there for the last they've come the last 14 years, and believe it or not, Doc, we have people out there at 7 o'clock. We're sometimes 6. I've known them 6:30. Yeah, waiting in line, and it's kind of like a camaraderie. They you know, sitting out there talking. They don't mind waiting because they're all there for the same.
So it's become kind of a social event.
It's that's what it's become. And the same men, you know, I see them every year. They come and shake my hand and say thank you. They always want to thank the black man for putting this on. And we do as the 100. We go out and we shake their hands and we tell them how much we appreciate them supporting us.
Right. And a modeling event too, because a lot of the fathers will bring their sons, and I've seen the son, the grandfather, and the father all together, and there's some guys who meet for, you know, a cup of coffee and come all together, 4, 5, or 6 of them. So it has become quite an event. So it's a nice thing. So
plus it's free, and I stress that because in this day and age where healthcare and medical expenses is one of the leading causes of bankruptcy, we know. I mean, like they say, you're only one medical event away from being bankrupt. And so we have a lot of people out there who still may not have access to adequate health care. And so they need to take advantage of this. And so we have the guidelines, and so you know, we're not screening everybody, but those who fit this, definitely the prostate screening guidelines, we want them to come out.
Yeah.
Well, you know, looking at the list of screenings that will be offered that day, I'm just thinking how much time you will save people from going all the different places you would have to go to get all of this done.
Specialists, and it's well organized. It really is. I mean, so you can really hit 4 or 5 or 6 stations within an hour. So.
Yeah, and Doc, over the years, we've never ever had to turn anybody away. Normally. It's so organized that everybody's through by even before 12.
Yeah.
We start taking things down sometimes, some of the things at 11:45 because people are satisfied. And let me just say this, there's other people that that do some things for us that I would like to just say thank you to, and those are the people that provide the snacks and the door prizes. This community we've been well blessed with a lot of sponsors who have been with us all these years, and we have very little problems in getting door prizes to give away. Matter of fact, the food that we give away, little light snacks, fruit, those kinds of things. And Chick-fil-A work with us and give us a great deal on supplying us with breakfast items that morning. So, and then we have a couple of we have one social club, L'Amour des Choses, and then we have a sorority, the Deltas. They've helped us over the years. So, and these, we don't have to ask them. They normally come and say, Larry, we're ready. And I just want to say, thank you to all of the people that have helped us over the years and that continue to help us.
Right.
Well, I think we've talked every year a little bit about the tendency of men to not go to the doctor, to not get checkups, and has that changed at all, Doctor?
No. It's probably gotten worse, actually.
Oh, wow.
But I do think the women kind of encourage the men and oftentimes drag them into the doctor's office and to health affairs like these. So it's a wonderful thing. And Greg mentioned free, and we've all emphasized free, which is wonderful. But not everything free is good for you. But the good thing about this is it's free and it's quality information. I mean, we have very well-trained professionals giving information out. I mean, Google is free, but that's not good information on there. So I stress that they can learn a lot. And there are multiple stations, and there's some educational materials as well. And I mean, we have massage therapists, a lot of things that are not even listed on here. Chiropractors, their dental exams, just about anything that's needed is offered. So.
Well, I mean, I'm impressed, as I am every year, but to be able to maintain something like this for 14 years and to save lives and educate and all of those things, I mean, it's an important annual event.
Well, we look forward to it because at the end of the day, the 100 is a professional service organization. We're here to serve. And so, it does us good to actually be out in the community and knowing that we're providing a quality service, as Dr. McCoy says, to our community. Because we have met men over the years that are no longer with us. And when you hear that someone's no longer with us, it touches you.
Well, we'll be right back after this, and you'll get the details of the event, so stay with us.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Welcome back to Community Watch. We've been having a discussion with Mr. Morrow and Dr. McCoy about the upcoming 14th Annual Health Initiative for Men, HIM, event that is being brought to us by the 100 Black Men of Rome, Northwest Georgia, on Saturday, August 15th, coming up, Saturday, August 15th from 8 a.m. to 12 noon at the Floyd County Health Department. And if you want more information, call this number, 706-291-9809. Thank our guests. I want to thank you for joining us this time. We'll see you next week on Community Watch.